Good morning. It's the start of a beautiful day. Or start your day right with a healthy dose of news, fun, and inspiration. Join us on VOP this morning for the latest news, trending topics, and uplifting stories to set your day on the right vibe. From news and current events to lifestyle and entertainment, you are covered.
VOP This Morning, 8 a.m., Monday through Friday.
Alright, good morning once again, and thanks for joining us. This is Newspaper Review. I am Chukwuma Okoro, and I have with me here Mr. Dele Fanimo. Dele is a Zin reporter and VOP in-house analyst. Good morning to you once again, Dele Fanimo.
Good morning again.
Okay, now in the next 1 hour, we are going to go through major headlines in some of Nigeria's newspapers. I have with me here the Punch newspaper, the Guardian, and the Business. They will also take some newspapers online. Okay, so let's start with the Punch newspaper with the banner headlines, with the window headlines. States slashing power tariffs must pay subsidy. That is coming from NERC. 14 villagers, policeman killed in Plateau attacks. Natasha to serve her suspension as Senate enters recess. And beside the nameplate, we have Nigeria harbors over 200 million illegal arms. That's coming from the Chief of Defense Staff. I'll take that again for emphasis. Nigeria harbors over 200 million illegal arms. That is coming from the Chief of Defense Staff. Now, the big story itself, post-NEC meetings, APC, PDP set stage for EPIC 2027 face-off. New APC chair, Iwata, vows Tinubu's return. Makinde, Bala-led PDP governors in 2027 power takeover plot. I'll take that again. New APC chair, Yedata, vows Tinubu's return. Makinde, Bala lead PDP governors in 2027 power takeover plot. Now there's a pictorial there, very interesting. APC NEC meeting. On one side, that's the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, new national chairman, APC, Professor Nentawe Yedata. National Secretary, APC, Senator Sarojudeen Basiru. Chairman, Progressive Governors Forum / Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma. And Kwara State Governor / Chairman, Nigeria Governors Forum, Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, during the 4th National Executive Committee meeting of the APC at the State House Conference Center, Presidential Villa in Abuja on Thursday, that's yesterday. And on that side of the newspaper, Punch newspaper, PDP NEC meeting. From left to right, you have Bauchi State Governors like Chairman, PDP Governors Forum, Bala Muhammad, National Secretary, Sam Anyanwu, and Acting National Chairman of PDP, Omar Damagun, during the National Executive Committee meeting of the party at the Wadata Plaza in Abuja on Thursday yesterday. So, both the APC and the PDP held their NEC meetings yesterday. Now, before we get into all of that, let's take the remaining headlines. APC power chase, Iwata pick Brighton Shetima, Northeast 2027 chances. I'll take that again. APC power chase, how do we pronounce this name? Yilwada. As he speaks, Brighton Shetima, Northeast 2027 chances. Fake customs officer arranged after scamming victims 34 million naira. And Makinde unveils new Oyo tourist hub master plan. Now, Dele, were you aware that
I was not even aware that
PDP had a NEC meeting yesterday?
That's why I was shocked that it was not.
Many
in the
Nigerians
news.
didn't know that PDP had NEC meeting yesterday.
It was not in the news.
It was not in the news. The only thing that covered the front pages of newspapers was Irata's emergence as the new APC chairman after the NEC meeting was held in Aso Rock yesterday. Anyway, post-election meeting, APC PDP set stage for EPIC 2027 face-off. Let's talk about the new chairman of the new national chairman of the All Progressives Congress.
Like I said earlier in the morning,
yes.
Earlier, I told you that it's a way of sort of balancing act. Damagun was taken out, though he claimed to have resigned.
No, Ganduje.
I mean, sorry, Ganduje, sorry. And he claimed it was as a result of his ill health. And shortly after he resigned, he was named chairman of FAN. And that tells you that if he was not as healthy as if he was as unhealthy as he claimed,
if he was living due to ill health,
he wouldn't have been appointed chairman of FAN, a critical sector in the aviation industry. So what they have done technically is just to say, okay, please pave way for our likely candidate as the running mate of our presidential candidate in the 2027 election, which everybody points to, and which is also getting clearer by the day that Kwankwaso is likely to be the preferred candidate of APC as vice presidential and running mate to Tinubu in 2027 election. And there's every likelihood, the body language and the optics also clearly show that there's almost like saying that there's no love lost between the president and his current running mate, Shettima.
His vice, Shettima.
Yes.
Okay, now does it look like this whole Ganduje thing was to reconfigure or to realign, the northeast and the northwest to pave way for the ousting of Shettima too?
Sure.
And it's curious that these things happen like few weeks ahead of the next meeting. So it was all planned out.
Of course. Now, they don't want anything that will be a major upset, because you never can tell in politics. If that issue had not been resolved before yesterday's next meeting, it could also be very difficult to push through that agenda.
Okay.
So it was better resolved before the next meeting, so that there won't be anything at stake for Ganduje in the next meeting. And so, pretty well,
okay.
Ganduje resigned.
Okay, now there's this issue of what happens to Shettima. Do you think that Shettima's ouster is going to do some kind of damage to the hegemony of the APC or to the electoral value of the APC in the north?
Shettima was picked not for much of electoral value at that time. What was at play then was Shettima coming from the north, and up until that time, we've not had a vice presidential candidate coming from the northeast.
Okay. Namadi Sambo
apart from
was,
Atiku.
Apart from Atiku.
Okay.
Namadi Sambo is from the
northwest.
From northwest.
Yes. And who else? Apart from Atiku.
Just about the two of them, yes.
So it would have been unfair for us to have another vice president in northwest at that time, just for us to balance the whole thing. So that was why Shettima
now talking about...
And unfortunately, Shettima even agreed. He said before the election that they are hounding him because he is from minority. And the fact that he declared that showed that it was not much of electoral value at that time. Perhaps certain indices were thrown up to bring him on board as the vice presidential candidate of the president then. And of course, you also know that having experienced the likes of Femi Pedro and Kofo Akerele Bokno, Tinubu will not want somebody that will square with him.
Okay.
Because he had his eye on second term, even before winning the first term. And he wouldn't want anybody that will rock the boat.
Okay. Anything that will upset him.
And Shettima was on the fringe. Apart from being former governor of Borno State, he was on the fringe. His structure and machinery does not transcend Borno. So it was gain for him. But suddenly, Shettima came into this government, and we began to see some kind of muzzle flexing and
between him and the president.
And then at a point the president had to also rely on his experience as
there was a
governor of
video
Lagos
that
State.
circulated online. I don't know if you saw the video where the president and the vice president were to travel, and now the vice president
Was ahead of him.
went into
In
the
protocol,
aircraft,
it doesn't happen.
went into the aircraft before the president, and the president had to order
Him to come back.
to come back. But that was where the video ended. Did you see that video?
I didn't see it.
Okay.
But that also clearly shows, there are certain things that happen in the political firmament that you may inadvertently step on landmine without you knowing.
Okay.
Having not been schooled properly in protocol. You understand? So that can be excused. But some other things had happened
Okay.
that would always want this man to remember his experience with Pedro and Akerele. So he now wants somebody that would
That is amenable, that is pliable.
be
somebody
amenable,
that
that
he
is
could control.
pliable, and he has found somebody
And do you think
else.
that Kwakwanso fits that mold?
So,
Is he pliable? Is he amenable?
even if he's not pliable, Tinubu can manage him. He's not seeking third term.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay, so he can relegate him to whatever duties he wants him to.
He's not seeking
like
third term.
Obasanjo said, vice president of birthday parties and naming ceremonies. But there's something he said that I'd like for us to interrogate, and the fact that the Northwest is now likely going to produce the vice presidential candidate.
Yes.
Now, the same Northwest has produced two presidents in this dispensation, talking about Yar'Adua and Muhammadu Buhari.
Yes.
Now, so do you think that taking the national chairmanship of the party to the North Central is some kind of
it's a form of appeasement now.
So, of what value is it to the North Central?
The appeasement.
Yes, national chairman. What are they going to do with that?
You see, the whole scenario will always
Mind you, the Northeast is also saying, look, we have not even produced a president. The last time we produced a president in this country was number one in this country was under Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. Since then, the much we have done is vice president
VP
Atiku
and Shetima.
and Shetima now. So they are also angling for the presidency.
And maybe they have to wait till 2031.
Or 2038.
Well,
Okay, because 2031, the power goes back to the north. Okay.
So they should be struggling for that.
Okay.
But you see, for me, either we like it or not, the political power play is such that bringing the chairmanship of APC to the North Central, it's a game changer for them. The last time they had such opportunity was during PDP era.
Okay.
When they had Ogbe, Solomon La,
Barnabas
Gemade, and the rest. And unfortunately, up until this republic, even in the Second Republic, chairmanship of a party was much sought after than the presidential candidate of a party.
Yes, because now the president is more like the national leader of the party.
The national leader
He's the be-all, say-all and be-all of the party.
You understand? But unfortunately, that is where we are today. But then, grabbing the national chairmanship of a party is also something that they can leverage on in terms of, because there's no way you will not have some measure of influence in that party.
Okay.
In terms of appointment, in terms of policy, in terms of a dividend of democracy coming to the North Central, So they will hold on to that. And of course, with time, they get more matured.
Okay.
Because when you play at that level, you get more matured, and it's likely to raise some other people, within the North Central, that it will prop up for future political engagement.
Okay.
So they have something to be cheerful about.
All right.
And for now, the game is up.
The game is up. Okay. Now we've been joined by Barrister Asim Adams virtually. Good morning to you, Barrister Asim Adams. He's a lawyer and political affairs analyst. Good to see you, sir. Good to have you on this show.
Yeah, wonderful seeing you this morning.
Okay, beautiful. Now, this is newspaper review, and
we are. Adams has suddenly become elusive.
No, he was
here.
He was here on Wednesday. He was here on political.
I know what I mean is 1 minute is in the studio.
Okay, the other
minute is out there.
Virtual. Okay, now Barrister, good to have you. Barrister, good to have you. We are reviewing newspapers and the front page of the Punch, we are talking about post-NEC meetings. Barrister, are you aware that PDP held their National Executive Committee meeting yesterday? Are you aware? Because it looks like it was very silent. Many Nigerians didn't know that both occasions were holding contemporaneously, both the APC NEC meeting and the PDP NEC meeting.
Yes, I am aware.
Okay.
I want to first of all greet my brother Fanimo, Dele Fanimo. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. It's nice having you on virtual now.
Absolutely, yes. I couldn't make it this morning. So the question he asked is, yes, I am aware because I'm conscious politically.
Okay.
I've been following events of the political parties and their activities in Nigeria. So I am aware that the PDP had their meeting or whatever they called it yesterday. Also, the APC did theirs. But those who are not politically aware may not know that the meeting took place yesterday.
Okay. Okay, so now Barrister, now that you are aware, the APC held their NEC yesterday, and we had Professor Nentawe Iwada emerge the new national chairman of the APC. Now, the issue is this. A lot of Nigerians are saying that, look, that is a masterstroke by the president, that the president is simply using that to check the ADC, where David Mark from the North Central is also more like the new national chairman of or wherever that he is. He's the person that is organizing the African Democratic Congress, ADC, which is more like the coalition. Do you think it's a masterstroke, like pitching the APC against the PDP ahead of 2027 by taking the national chairmanship of both parties to the North Central? What's your reaction?
Yeah, the reaction is that, the North, whether it's Northwest, whether it is Northeast or North Central, is very crucial to any election that is general, that involves the presidency, like the general election of 2027. North is very important. Be it Northwest, be it Northeast, be it North Central, they are very important zones. Now, in the North Central, where the APC chairman has come out from, and having David Mark as the chairman of ADC, is going to be what I call a battle royale. It was a tactical move by the APC, to frustrate whatever enthusiasm that ADC may have gathered from the voters or middle belt, as we used to call them, that is the North Central now. That is to garner their votes or to divide the house. Because certainly David Mark is there and this Yewa Tida is also there. If they remain as chairman of these political parties till 2027, the votes in the North Central will be divided. Because Yedatiwa we have is so controversial chunk of the vote, while David Mark also we have. So it's a tactical move and a good political one for APC, as the case may be. But how it pans out between now and that 2027 is where the problem is right now.
Okay.
They have to do more than that. Yes.
All right. Okay, thanks very much, Barrister. Now, let's still stay in politics. And on the front page, one of the window headlines in the Punch newspaper is Natasha to serve as suspension at Senate enters recess. There isn't that one another masterstroke? Because we are talking about political masterstrokes here. The president played one, took the national chairmanship of the APC to the North Central, to check David Mark's influence. Now, the Senate has gone on recess, and Natasha is yet to resume. So, technically, she will serve, and the recess is for 60 days. And it will
60?
Yes, 2 months.
Wow.
2 months. So, it technically coincides with Natasha's suspension.
Expected return.
Expected return. And by then, the court cases will have
be
sorted out.
You see,
so, is this another masterstroke?
You see,
from Akpabio this time, not from the president?
You see, politically exposed people, when they want to have their way, they are intentional about it. And right from day one, on the floor of that Senate, Natasha played into the hands of Akpabio. Now, nobody's talking about sexual harassment anymore. It is the technicality of having Natasha being dealt with or not. And as we speak, the Senate has the upper hand. One, that crime was committed on the floor of the House. I won't call it a crime, but that infraction was committed on the floor of the House. And the House has the mandate to deal with issues within the confines of the House. And that's what they are challenging from the judgment that was passed. And in lieu of challenging this judgment, the Senate has every right to go on recess for whatever reasons. And now they are exploiting that. You know, I've always said it. I said political solution to this would have been the best approach to this Natasha Senate row. And if she had opted for that, but those people that are urging her to go on and fight, they are not going to bear the brunt as much as she will bear it. Now, 6 months is sacrosanct. Either she likes it or not, she must serve the 6 months out. And 6 months in the life of over 1 million, 2-3 million people.
That are represented by her.
That she's representing.
Okay, all right. Now, Barrister Asim Adams, please feel free to chime in at any moment because this is a free conversation. It's not a question and answer session. Please feel free to chime in at any time. And so, what's your take on Natasha to serve out suspension and Senate enters recess? Is it a masterstroke from the...
It's a game plan to frustrate her. Like Dele Fanny Moradni said, to frustrate her and distract, the populace, or about the sexual harassment issue. Nobody is talking about the sexual harassment right now. Nobody is talking about Akpabio and Natasha, what happened or what began this whole story. But right now, what we are talking about is she's been locked out of the Senate by not allowing her to come into the premises and present of the National Assembly. Now, the other factor which I look at as a lawyer is the Section 104. Section 104 says that every legislator in Nigeria, especially senators, must have to sit for a period of 181 days in a year. That is Section 104. Talking about that a member of the National Assembly legislator must sit for a period of 181 days out of 365 days or 366 days as the case may be. Now, if you subtract the suspension of Natasha for about 6 months, and you now add another period they will be on vacation, that will make it about 8 months, which means legally speaking and officially speaking, Natasha was not, legally a member of the House of Senate because she has not sat up to 181 days. She has infracted Section 104 of the 1999 Constitution because I don't know how many days she has sat in that house. And the law says 181, you must 181. Now the year is coming to an end. And at the end of the day, if she's not able to sit for that 181 days, what does that mean is that she's not qualified, to be entitled to the emoluments and benefits.
Okay, we seem to have lost Barrister Adams' connection, so we'll stay here in the studio. The barrister brought in a fresh angle to the Natasha issue.
The sitting,
the number of days that she's required to sit, and technically speaking, by the time she serves out her 6 months, plus the recess, she wouldn't have 106. 6 months is times it's 180 days.
80 days.
Okay. Okay, so we've been able to reestablish connection with Barrister Adams. Barrister, go ahead and land on your thought. Okay, unfortunately, we couldn't fix that. So let's stay here in the studio. So does it look like
Yes.
okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay, Barrister, go ahead. I can hear you.
Can you hear me, Mr. Oko?
Barrister, I can hear you. Go ahead. Barrister Adams, I can hear you. Go ahead.
For 181 days.
Okay.
That is what the Constitution says under Section 104. So they are trying to frustrate her. They are trying to make her, look on senatorial or on senatory, as the case may be. Because if you do not sit for that 181 days, it means that you are not representing your people very well, and you are not entitled to be called a senator for that period of time.
Okay.
So this is what they are trying to do, and they have done it very, very well. Unfortunately, she's not helping her condition or her state. It's unfortunate.
Okay, now, Barrister, I like the fact that you have introduced a fresh angle to this matter. Is there a possibility that if she violates this sitting requirement, that the Senate could or INEC could declare her seat vacant? Is there a possibility it could happen? Is there any law that says that, look, if you don't sit...
INEC will not declare her seat vacant.
Okay.
But a legislator who does not sit up to 181 days under Section 104 of the 1999 Constitution, what does that mean is that she's an absentee senator. It then means that the people have the right to recall her under Section 69 or so of the 1999 Constitution. The people have the right to recall her because she has not represented them well. So that is the punishment that she deserves. And it is only after the recall process has been completed that INEC can, or whoever can, or the Senate President can declare that seat vacant. So the recall has to take place first. Can you hear me?
Okay. All right then, Barrister.
The recall has to take place. That is, the process of recalling a senator, is not as straight cut as it is. It's like a referendum. It's not very easy.
It's a very difficult and complex process.
Whatever. So, yes. But the people have the right to recall her if she is not able to do 181 days as prescribed.
But wouldn't the suspension be factored in? Is it entirely her fault that she was suspended?
That is left to the courts to decide.
Okay, that is left for the courts to decide.
That is left to the courts to decide if, technically speaking, if the period of her suspension and the period of her waywardness in the Senate can be computed among the time that we constitute 181 days under Section 104. So she has to go to court and explain.
But Barrister, you said something that is I don't know if it is instructive or what. You said her waywardness in the floor of the Senate. What do you mean by that? Was she wayward?
When somebody is wayward, it's not an insultive word.
No, I'm just asking. I didn't say you insulted her.
So people should not raise any red flags or eyebrows.
Okay.
Thinking that it's an insultive word. When somebody is wayward, is that you are not concentrated. Okay. You are not concentrating at all.
Does it have anything to do with comportment? Is it that she didn't comport herself?
Comportment, grandstanding and showmanship has overtaken reasonability. That is in my own opinion.
Okay.
You see, there are senators who passed through this kind of situations before, but they took it with equanimity, principled stand, and stoic disposition, without attracting unnecessary attention, both international and, national. It's a distraction. You see, people have not dissipated the real meaning and why this particular issue or feud started in the first instance. What has happened to the sexual harassment case? Nobody's talking about it. What we are after now is that Natasha has been denied. He goes around with activists doing some distractions here and there. The main issue why she was...
Barrister, when you call her actions destructive, or that is a distraction, what else would you have expected her to do in the face of
the the courts. I want her to behave like, you see, there's a particular lady in Philippines. I think Imelda Marcos.
Okay.
You know, the husband was Marcos, Ferdinand Marcos, or whatever they call her. You see, you saw the way the wife, you know, was vilified. The wife was vilified. She became very sensational all over international media. She comported herself at the end of the day. She came back and almost won that particular election in Philippines again. Natasha needs to do more than that.
Okay.
This matter is in court. You understand the point? Akpabio is not doing much of the grandstanding. She is the one doing it. For me, she has dissipated the subject matter and distracted the reason why many of us able, cut any slack for her anymore.
Okay, now, Barrister, Natasha also said something the other day. She said that there is no need for her to apologize because by the time the Senate reconvenes, she will have served out her 6-month suspension. So there is no need for her to apologize.
Those are the things I'm talking about. That is preemptive. If you say you will not apologize, and the court say you should apologize to a
the court asked her to apologize so that the Senate will recall her. Now, there are some lawyers like you that are even saying that the court didn't ask the Senate to recall Natasha. So where does that leave her?
The other day, I told you about Dick the Butcher. I made reference to a particular character in the team play Henry the Sixth, about a particular man they called Dick the Butcher. I don't know if you can remember.
Yes, I do.
Good. You see, Dick the Butcher talked something about lawyers. And he's still very instructive at this point in time. That is that he said, he was a rebel. He said, see, the first thing we have to do when we set up a republic is to kill all the lawyers. That is the first thing. And now when they ask him, all the lawyers, he said, no, some of the lawyers, they asked him the reason why. He said, some lawyers are on both sides of the divide. There are those who are egging Natasha on. There are those who are egging Senator Akpabio on. But that is a distraction in my own case. So these are things I'm talking about, that what would have happened. The instrument or instrumentality of, trying to escalate this would have been the court process. Now, what has the court said? Has Natasha appealed the decision of that court, the orders of that court? I should apologize. Has she gone back to court to tell the court, no, my lord, I cannot apologize now because if I do that, it's going to, extinguish the real reason why I'm here, the rest. Has she done that? She has not done that.
Okay.
But what she's doing is moving from camera to camera on a daily basis.
Okay.
And moving some characters who are activists, who are exacerbating the situation, not in her favor, mind you, because the person or the institution is dealing with are principalities and powers. And these people are looking at him just like Dagon.
So Barrister, will you prefer for her to allow those principalities and powers to just cow her and run her out of the Senate? Is it not proper that she's fighting back and people are helping her to do that? Nigerians are weighing in on all of that.
This is the biggest mistake Nigerians always make. You think it's by making noise on social media that you fight back. Has that changed anything? When Buhari lost his life, a lot of people were talking about, oh, it's this, it's that, as the case may be. But does that mean that another Buhari will not come tomorrow, or worse than Buhari in government, that will remain in government?
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
These are things. You don't do that on social media. Well, how do you correct institutional mistakes?
Okay.
It's not through social engineering.
All right then.
You put some legal instruments to do that. And
okay. All right. Barrister, let's move away from the Natasha issue and talk about.
Yes. I will be leaving any moment from now because I have an urgent matter I have to attend to.
Okay. So before you leave, I would like for you to weigh in on the comment by the Chief of Defense Staff that Nigeria harbors over 200 million illegal arms. And the story says that the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has raised the alarm over Nigeria's growing vulnerability to global insecurity, revealing that the country harbors 40% of the over 500 million illegal arms and light weapons circulating in West Africa. Well, these weapons, often smuggled from conflict zones in the Sahel and North Africa, have empowered terrorists, bandits, and ethnic militias, escalating violence in Nigeria's northern regions, he said. He therefore said Nigeria must, as a matter of urgency, improve its security strategies in the face of increasing global fragility. Now, Barrister, isn't this scary enough to understand that Nigeria harbors over 200 million illegal arms, and we are dealing with insecurity? What happened? Where were we when all these arms were smuggled into Nigeria? And as we speak, nobody has taken responsibility. Nobody's career has damaged. Both customs, immigration, the chief of army staff, the national security advisor. These things, were they smuggled in at night, or did they just drop from heaven?
I think what I need to do now is that I'll be leaving just now because I have some 1 or 2 things to attend to. But I will answer that in just a minute.
Okay.
What I'm going to say is that the porosity of our borders, number one, corruption in high places, the military, the gendarmes, the customs, the immigration, they are all corrupt. That is how you see arms come into this country. Nobody checked them. The other one is that, there's an illegal trade on arms. Arm deals is richer or more very lucrative than the oil business. That is why you find out those who deal in arms, they have more financial power than those who even deal in crude oil, etc. as the case may be. So these are the issues theory I can put together.
Okay.
Now, if you can check corruption, porous borders, check, those merchants of arms, those people who can import billions worth of arms, but they cannot import a bag of rice to Nigeria. These are the things you need to, all these are the areas you need to check. Then you look at complicit, behavior by the military, complicit behavior by the security agencies in Nigeria. We have seen cases where soldiers, according to what we heard and read, selling arms and ammunition to bandits and to people around. How do you weed AK-47? I've never seen an AK-47 before. I don't even know how much they sell it, but I know that there are those who have those things in their various residences in Nigeria. How did they get there? So it is through all this complicit nature that they get there.
Okay.
So that is just my quick answer to this.
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Adams. Thank you very much. We appreciate your presence, and I hope that we can do this some other time. Thanks for being part of this show. All right, now let's come back to the studio. Nigeria harbors over 200 million illegal arms. CDS, are you scared?
It comes with a lot of shock, trepidation, and it's just too scary. I imagine AK-47 has a killing range of about 500 to 600 meters. And a magazine of AK-47 fully loaded takes 30 rounds of ammunition.
That's 30 shots.
That's 30 shots. And you can double or triple the magazine. It has the capacity.
In between shots?
No!
Okay.
Don't you see those AK-47 in the military and the police hands?
Okay.
You can triple the magazine. You can put 3 at the same time.
Making it 90 shots.
So which means you have 90 bullets at one time that you are moving with. Now you have 200 million. I don't want to soak in that figure.
It could be more, it could be less.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because I imagine out of this you have GPMG, general purpose machine gun. I read yesterday that when they went after some bandits, they recovered 2. And a GPMG takes 300 rounds of ammunition. That is the one you for any major general or equivalent in the armed forces, when they are moving, it is that gun that they mount, apart from those carrying AK-47 or La. Now, I'm breaking it down for you to see that it's scarier than what you and I are looking at. Now, somebody has 300 rounds of ammunition that is thrown around him like a belt, and a GPMG killing range is more than 600 meters. What that tells you is, if human beings are lined on a straight line, you can kill as many as 50 with just one bullet. So I'm giving you these statistics for you to know the danger, the present danger we are facing.
And talking about danger, it looks like these arms are majorly in the arms of one group of people.
It's not in one group of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think it's evenly
it's
spread?
widespread.
Is it wide or evenly spread?
Not evenly spread, because those people that would likely want to err on the side of the law don't keep those arms. But the lawless ones are the ones that are keeping it. Let me give you an example. A friend of mine of blessed memory, when he was OC SARS, the OC SARS was around. The then commissioner of police, when he was being transferred to Delta, took him along. So after about 2-3 months, he came to Ibadan and we were talking. And I asked him, I said, how are you faring in Delta? He said, everything he has learned as OC SARS in so many commands, that all those ones paled to insignificance
when he went to
Delta. He said, almost on the average, every home, you see minimum of AK-47.
In Delta State?
In Delta State. He said, you dare not arrest couples that are fighting, marital, and you are saying you are taking battle there, you may not come back alive. But it was as bad as that. Even when in peacetime. Now imagine a place like Zamfara, populated by non-state actors. See the way they were even brandishing rocket launcher.
I wanted to talk about that. You talked about GMPG. You talked about assault rifles like AK-47.
Now we're talking about rocket launchers.
Drones? How about drones?
About drones.
Illegal ones, because Nigerian army said they made a show of it that they had purchased some drones that they were used to fight insurgents. And 2 days later, the insurgents, the bandits, the terrorists attacked the Nigerian army base with drones. So to tell you that we also have it.
Exactly. So it's the present danger is apparent and real. And I don't know how would even...
Is there a possibility that the government could at any point mop up all of these? And
you can only mop up with civilian populace that are amenable to the details of the law. How do you go to the enclave of a bandit to say you want to mop up arms? You are precipitating a serious fight.
But militants were surrender their arms.
Can
we reenact that?
After appeasement.
Okay.
It wasn't that you just went to the creeks and said, you guys, bring your arms and ammunition, and they just submitted to you.
So is there a way government can appease this terror?
You see, the fear I have is that the channel through which these arms and ammunition were ferried into the country, it's not likely that we can really block those channels. Because the thing escalated when the Arab Spring happened. And Tunisia, Algeria, Libya, Mali were let loose. And coming from the Sahel, the most prosperous around this area is Nigeria. So Nigeria suddenly became the bus stop. And we have over 1,000 borders.
Unmanned.
Because the total population of customs, the total population of immigration today that are supposed to man our borders is not up to combined. It's not up to like maybe 20,000.
Okay.
And you have over 1,000 borders that are unmanned. So how do you track? Those are identified ones,
okay.
Not even from bush parts.
Frontiers, talking about frontiers.
Exactly. So
where people just walk through
how do you manage
back and forth,
how do you manage
that
that kind of scenario? It's difficult.
Very
it's
difficult. And
impossible.
I just hope that the government is able to do something, because it's quite scary and presents a clear danger to the Nigerian people in terms of insecurity. Now let's take headlines from the Guardian newspaper, because we are almost out of time. That's 1.1 trillion naira subsidy. Dollarized operations threaten energy transition. TCN replaces chairman, cites governance concerns. Army chief warns against abandoning Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. Still talking about Army chief. That's the chief of defense staff. Now, the big story itself on the front page of Guardian. Too much of a good thing. How unchecked dietary supplements turn toxic, lure many to early grave. I would like for you to chime in on that after taking the headlines. EU editors partner to raise awareness on impacts of fake news. Fake news, I'll take that again because that's our forte. EU editors partner to raise awareness on impacts of fake news. Our forte is news, not fake news, please. When I said our forte. Now, ADC, CUPP kick as Tinubu labels opposition, coalition of confusion. We are not against coalition to unseat Tinubu in 2027. Now, 2027, Tinubu rallies governors to performance, lures north with slots. I think we've talked about that in a bit. Killings, Fulani avenging injustice in Plateau, says Headers Group. Makinde unveils Oyo's tourism blueprint at Summit. And the bottom strip headline, market money changing lives of Nigerians as 27,000 traders benefit from stress-free loan. I would like for you to talk briefly about the Fulani avenging injustice in Plateau that is coming from a Headers Group, and too much of a good thing, how unchecked dietary supplements turn toxic, lure many to early graves. Quick one, 2 minutes.
Thank God we have now seen that it is not unknown men that are killing in Plateau and Benue.
Okay.
If their group is coming up to this, that they are avenging injustice. And who is doing injustice? Who is at the receiving end in this part of the country? Plateau people are not historically herdsmen. Benue people are predominantly farmers. That's why they call it the food basket of the nation. So, which means the tormentor is now avenging in the land of the person that is tormented. Maybe that will suffice in another time.
Okay, now the quick one. East National Secretary Bello Gotomo, who made a session after the association's National Executive Council meeting in Abuja, also stated that climate-induced migration, proliferation of weapons, weak law enforcement, and injustice were contributing to the persistent violence in the state. Gotomo said cited instances where Fulani herdsmen were attacked, killed, and their cars rustled by natives, and nothing is done by security agencies to automatically force the herders to seek justice in their own way by attacking the communities where they were wronged. So it was appropriately captured. I'd like for you to take 30 seconds to talk about too much of a good thing.
You see, supplement is a replacement for what you don't have. So if you have normal diet, you don't need supplements.
Okay.
But some people have taken it as a way of life.
As a lifestyle.
You know? And
they brag about it.
They are proud about it. You see them clutching all these containers of supplements, different supplements.
To show off.
You know, to show off that they are looking healthy.
All right.
Whereas a large dose of vegetable can replace that 5,000 supplement you are buying. Okay. And vegetable can be bought for less than 1,000 naira.
All right, thank you very much, Dele Fanimo. This is where we have to end the newspaper review. It's been nice speaking with you. I hope we will do this again on Monday.
Why not? Sure.
Okay, now from me here, Chukuma Okoro, and the backroom staff, including my producer, Mr. David Edwin, it's bye for now and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll come back at 6 o'clock for Political Lens. Join me then. Bye for now.